This is depressing, but I had to do this, where Naruto meets his parents again. I had to do that a week after my mother passed away.
Oh my God.
So when you hear that, the whole room was in tears when I was doing it. Everybody in the room. The crusty old engineer, they're all ex-musicians, usually kind of deaf, and they run the controls, right? And they were just weeping, and my director was, and the other person doing the scoring.
Without further ado, Maile Flanagan!
Thank you. It's been a while. First one of the day. All right, that's enough now. What did I just say? Hi, you guys. I'm Maile. I just had a little coughing asthma thing. It's okay. The building's from 1942, so I'm sure they've cleaned it a lot since then. 30? Oh, you did? Yes. I was trying to gauge if it was earlier. It's a cool building. This is a cool room. It has been cleaned in 45 years, but it's a cool room. I'm just kidding. How are you guys?
Oh, come on. You guys can do better.
Yeah?
Let's hear it. Come on. There we go. She deserves better than that.
Yeah.
We love you, Maile.
We're old pals, he and I.
I've done this once or twice.
Yes. Should I throw in some of the stuff I've done before we start?
Of course.
All right, you bet. So I do one show called Naruto, which is pretty fun.
Minor role.
Minor role. Short-term role. It's almost 20 years now. And it's then the spin-off Boruto, of course. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, I don't care. Don't come up and tell me that, because I still won't care. But I like it. That's the most important part. And I'm getting paid to do it, and that's the more important part.
Most important part.
That's right. That's the most important. But despite the jibber-jabber about it, it is a good show. And I think it does start rather slowly and changes hard, but then it gets really good. So if you haven't watched it, trust me, if you start it, once you watch it for a while, you're going to love it. It is actually a very good show. What else? I'm on a show called Royal Crackers on Adult Swim.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's not for young ears at all. It's very, very adult, which is kind of fun to do. Surprise, I play an adolescent boy in it. That's shocking to you all. Another boy I played was on a show called Jakers, The Adventures of Piggley Winks. I was on a show that just got canceled on camera called Not Dead Yet with Gina Rodriguez. It was really good. Thank you. I know.
I'm not dead yet.
It was I know. I don't know what, everyone was shocked that it didn't come back. But it's probably one dude usually that's let's try Bachelorette, 90-year-old Bachelorettes, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't renew it, but it was news to me and everybody else. And then, yes, thank you.
I actually saw that episode just the other day. I was like, what the? Maile?
What, Shameless? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
A couple seasons of that. Just 6 episodes kind of spread out.
Yeah.
I've been, I was going to say Lab Rats, Principal Perry. That was... What?
He didn't know.
Oh, that's because they only ever put Naruto on the banners. So. It's a long-standing tradition of not acknowledging some of my work, which I've won awards for. Yeah. Speaking of which, I did a show called Jakers, The Adventures of Piggley Winks, where I played a boy, an Irish pig boy. And I won the Emmy for it one year. And
that's amazing.
I was nominated another year and didn't, and our show won the Emmy. So that was pretty cool. What projects do I have? I have a road movie coming up with a UFC fighter that I'm going to be filming. I was supposed to film it like starting next week, but it got pushed to September. And then I'm, wait, what am I doing? Oh,
You're talking.
I know. I'm sorry. I haven't had any sleep. We flew in last night. Got here this morning and checked in the hotel and came right here. So I haven't had a lot of sleep.
I feel that.
Sorry. You're welcome.
We love you.
I'm good.
I think you're forgetting your most important role, really.
Oh, what?
Your most important role.
What?
When you were in the elevator in Transformers.
Yeah. I did stunts for that movie. I had a massive scene with John Malkovich for that movie. I had another scene with Ken Jeong in that movie. I had to run through fire pots in that movie and drag a guy out, and everyone else was the one actor and the rest were stunt people, except for me. And I'm the only female in the whole movie who doesn't look like Miss Columbia. Because it's a Michael Bay movie. It's like, I don't see you. I can't see you. And apparently it's about robots, so most of my shit got cut. So I'm in an elevator for a second, and then the doors close.
Exactly.
And you hear me say something. What did I say? I don't know.
I don't remember, but yeah, you I was just watching it on TV, and then I was like, that's not Miley.
Yeah.
And I had to rewind, because it's literally like, it's 5 seconds.
I think I don't know anyone who has the DVD extras, but that's a loss too, because now they never release extras, right? Like, they're very tight about it anyway, but now what you see is streaming is kind of what you get. And then 5 years later, they might release a blooper reel or something.
That's true, actually.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, let's get into questions and answers, folks. So raise your... Oh, wow. You are off the gun right there. She knows what to do. Raise your hand. We'll ask the question, and then we'll move on to the next person. At the very end of the panel here, I'll do a lightning round where I just run around as fast as possible, and Miley's going to fire off answers as fast as possible.
That's how you lost 100 pounds.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
150, but...
150.
Yes. Okay. You first. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Lynette. I'm always super excited to see you when I see you in your random shows, like in Shameless. I didn't expect to see you there.
Right.
Or in the show with Gina Rodriguez, Not Dead Yet. So are you looking forward to maybe like any other roles in the future that maybe you haven't gotten, but you're like kind of wanting to get into?
Other than the TV show that just got canceled like a month ago. It was fantastic, and they wrote the part for me. I could only dream. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to that movie because it's going to be a road movie with a UFC fighter, which could be very good or very bad. I'm not sure which. The script is very funny. I have a big commercial coming out, which is why I had to take my plane ride at 1 a.m. because I shot all day yesterday. And it's an Olympic spot. It's a short spot, but you'll spot me for a second. And I can't say what for. Or with what huge, massive, gold-winning Olympian I'm in the scene with. But look for it. It should start running soon. And what else am I looking forward to? A lot of my projects kind of died at the same time, Oh, I just did this really cute thing for Cartoon Network, and they released it and just to the creators and stuff, and invited participants, and I hope it goes. It's really wild new animation and I had to speak in a made-up language, and I was the first one to go, and I was like, oh shit!
You made a whole language.
Can I go after Tara Strong? But it was really fun to do. It was one of the hardest jobs I've ever done, and because they didn't really provide a dictionary to it, so it's a really innovative, cool thing, and I'm hoping that goes, but you never know. Yeah.
Do you think your vocals on it, because obviously languages have different tonalities to them, do you think yours is going to set the tone for the whole series now, because you were the first one?
Well, no. The whole series is just wacky out there. I mean, in a creative and cute way, not like, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's not like that. But, no, but because I was the first one, and the explanations were sounds like with kush and oosh, shush, whatever. So, but I knew from the script that they'd have to say some of the same words, because I would say, whatever, look at that flower, and have to make up the words for the on the fly, by the way. So I thought about it and reread it, and I think I wrote down a few things. But I was scribbling them as I was doing them, and so I said, it's kind of chicken scratch, but if you ever want to, if you want to have this, because I wrote it on the script, you can use it. Because then we all say the same word for flower, right? Mm-hmm. And so, in a way, I created a mini dictionary for some of the words. And later on, the creators, who are very young, they're like, oh, wow, we didn't realize how hard it would be. I'm like, well, it's in a made-up language, but we say the same thing sometimes. So I think it will have some effect. But
well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun.
Sounds like it. You up?
Hi, I'm Roy. I had your thing signed by Funko, but I'm a big fan. I have a question, just off topic, but I could have sworn you were in a commercial. Were you in a Geico commercial or a Farmers commercial? I forgot.
I was in a Geico commercial, a State Farm commercial,
one of those,
six Jack in the Box commercials, Pepsi commercial, a Jeep commercial. What? I'm very commercial.
Yeah.
What was the cereal?
I wasn't seeing things.
Oh, I was in a commercial with Tom Brady, my best friend, Tom Brady.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it's the one for the crypto company. And so every time they bring up crypto theft and, all the shady stuff, they play that commercial on CNN. And I don't get paid because it's on the news. Oh. So every time they show the commercial, I'm like, oh, Lord. I've done a lot of them. I've done everything. Literally.
I was going to say, you've just been all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good career,
Yeah, I have a 50% on camera and then 50% animation is my career. So
very solid. Okay, next question right here. Don't grab the mic out of my hands, though, guys. Okay, appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Josh. I'm really big fan of Naruto, my favorite anime ever. I got a question for you. So when Naruto and Hinata got married, what was your favorite gift that you received?
Personally? Like at a convention? No. Oh, in the anime?
Do you remember what gifts you got given at your wedding?
At my wedding?
A scene in the series.
Vaguely, but I don't. What's yours? Okay, there you go.
Solid answer. Thank you, Miley.
I'm going to have to look back at that. I mean, I recorded that 7 years ago. So, I don't know. Some of these episodes I haven't seen in 15 years. Most of them, in fact.
So, I know you know Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking with, I can't forget his name, Spike, one day, running his panel, and he brought, yes, James Marsters, thank you.
Who?
James Marsden.
Oh, yeah.
Spike, the vampire.
Yeah.
Somebody goes, what was your, just like this, they were like, what was the most, why'd you feel this emotion during this scene?
Right.
And he's like, we filmed every episode 30 times. I might have had to say the same line in the same pose 30 times, and we had 12 seasons. Right. I don't remember any of this series.
Yeah, it's really...
I don't know I made it.
Yeah, it's really hard, and people will ask very specific things. I should remember that, Josh, so I'm sorry I didn't. All right, thank you. Forgive me. You can tweet me some of the many gifts, and I'll respond.
Make her a list, and she'll answer.
Hi, my name is Caroline. I'm here with my sister and my cousin, and we're all fans of Naruto. A question I have is, what inspired you to pursue voice acting as a career?
The money.
She did not hesitate. There was not a second guess. That money.
You don't have to memorize anything. That's a big plus, by the way. Especially as you get older, and if you drink vodka tonics.
Or just straight vodka.
This isn't a vodka tonic. I so wish it was.
We can fix it later.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Ashton, and my question was, do you have any tips about getting into voice acting? I asked Blake Roman earlier about how he got into the whole business, and I wanted to know what your story was.
Don't. No, I'm kidding. I think you should take acting classes because everyone thinks they can do voiceovers, and half the time they're terrible actors, you know. And it's like, you know, if you can do it for 5 minutes, try doing it for 4 hours, screaming your lungs out. So that's a big factor. Take improv classes. That's another piece of advice. But mostly, become a better actor. And improv is a good way to learn a lot of different accents and stuff like that. Although a lot of people don't do accents. You know, Pamela Adlon, she was Bobby in King of the Hill. She has no accent ability. We were on that Jaker show together. She was recurring. She's like, Miley, how do you say this in Irish? I'm like, well, first of all, it's not in Irish. But she sounds the same in everything. I'm the poor man's Pamela Adlon. Like, you don't know there are a lot of factors to voiceover. And it's, like, there are lots of different facets. So Tsunade, right? Lady Tsunade, she, next time if you fly somewhere on American Airlines, listen to who tells you to buckle your seatbelt. Yeah, for real. She's the voice of American Airlines. She may or may not be the voice of a major athletic event coming up. So
interesting.
Yes.
Secret.
So listen closely, my friends. But like Debbie doesn't do a whole lot of different accents, right? But what she is, she has that great smoky sound, and you know, and it's just pure and great. And she's a great actor. And, you know, she's terrific in all the roles that she does and believable as an announcer. Because that's stuff you just don't think about, right? Somebody's got to be the voice of, well, in LA, it's welcome to Los Angeles. This is your mayor. Whatever. But in other places, you know, you don't think about it, but I'll listen and I'll be like, who is that actor? I'm like, oh, it's John Boy from, you're too young, but is there one person in the back of the room? Come on, there you go. There was an old show called The Waltons, and everybody watched it when they were young, right? It's in the 70s. Anyway, John Boy was like the lead guy, and so he's like in 1,000 commercials. Which car campaign? I forget. I don't know. But,
yeah, it's really crazy when you, again, like, since I met you, you know, I've watched these movies, I've seen these shows and all that, and then now I'm like, that's Miley. That's Miley.
Yeah.
That's Miley. That's Miley's voice. Why am I hearing Miley's voice?
Yeah, I pop up a lot, you know. Just random guest star roles, Modern Family and The Mindy Show and Mike and Molly. All shows with M's.
Yep. Well, on to our next question here. Let's hear it, Lucifer.
So it's basically going off. Sorry. So it's basically going off of like the whole acting thing. I've been doing scare acting for a few years now.
Yeah.
Where we're running around, we're screaming for hours on end. Do you guys? We do like voice, like vocal warm-ups with the diaphragm and stuff. Do you guys do anything like that? And what would the difference between scare acting and like vocal acting? If you know anything about that, what would the difference be between those two?
Well, I mean, when you move to a market like LA and to be in film and TV, which I did. I didn't grow up saying, oh, I love these cartoons and I want to be a voice actor. That was not my, Eric Bauza, who's in everything, is like, he grew up watching cartoons and he wanted to do cartoons and now he's in every cartoon. And a great, great voice actor. But anyway, so what's the difference is, one is obviously, you know, you're projecting your own voice. Except for on Broadway and stuff, they have wigs in there. I mean, mics in their wigs. Especially musicals and stuff. And it's hard to get into voiceover. It's very hard. It's harder now than ever because all of a sudden all the movie stars decided they want to do animation. So if you look at the credits now for those major movies that are out, right, it's like, you know, Cameron Diaz. Well, a 4-year-old doesn't give a shit if it's Cameron Diaz. They just care if they're funny and they appeal to them. But the studios think, oh, we'll put Cameron Diaz in this movie. And it's like, she's all right. But there are also people that are also known for their voices and their delivery, like Ray Romano, right? And he never does a different voice. I mean, he'll do a different He's a good actor, but his voice, he always sounds like Ray Romano, and he's perfect in the movies that he does, in Ice Age and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, there we go. Okay, you, sir.
I don't know if I answered your question.
Sorry.
Did I?
Hi, welcome to Westchester, first of all. I have never personally seen Naruto, though I am familiar with it, and I follow voice acting. I've heard...
Don't worry, no one in my family watches it.
Okay.
True fact.
Right. I follow voice acting, and I've seen clips of Naruto, and he's obviously a very vocal character.
You think? Rasengan! Giant Rasengan! Massive Rasengan! Rasen Shuriken! Believe it!
Oh, that believe it? I can't watch the show anymore because of it. I see you, all I hear is you. Believe it!
And what's his name? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. We know.
Anyway, my question is how... I don't have a very strong vocal range, but how straining is it to voice this character? Because it must be. Is it? How?
Well, I mean, you know, the video games are very stressful vocally. And there's a limit, and they move very fast because you're not doing it to picture. You're alone in a room, for me, screaming. And the way the Japanese write, and it's translated, they put an exclamation point on everything. The first thing I tell people when I teach, sometimes I teach college, sometimes I teach professional actors, is like, just ignore that. Because if you did everything like that, it would all sound the same. So you have to interpret, like, what's the intent? You got to be good at reading that. You have to be a quick reader. And it is vocally straining for video games, because you literally, I think I've done 64, and it might be more now, I don't know. But I literally have said, you know, like, Shadow Clone Jutsu! Shadow Clone Jutsu! Shadow Clone Jutsu! Shadow Clone Jutsu! Yeah, on and on. Thousands of lines. And I've said them all before. But I still have to do them because it's a different company paying.
Howard, do you use that herbal throat stuff, that honey stuff? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard everything. I find margaritas work well, but
that's true too.
Pack a day helps. No, I'm kidding. I don't smoke anymore. No, I don't smoke. Sound like it. I sound like I smoke. I get cast as a lot of DMV employees. Like, can I help you? You know, I'm a good bus driver and I'm a good security guard. I'll tell you that much. And gym coach. I get a lot of those. Yes. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Erica. I love Naruto. I've always loved Naruto. Growing up was my favorite thing. In the Naruto series and Shippuden, which scene was the most hardest for you to act out? Was there anything that really got you really emotional?
Hey.
Go one.
Did they ask you? I don't think so.
How'd you get
Some
in the
people
crowd,
may
Miley?
not be there, like the guy who doesn't know anything about Naruto. I'm kidding.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. He dies.
Kills Dumbledore.
But he died like 15 years ago. You don't know now. What was the question? Oh, the most moving? Oh.
Emotional scene that got to you while you were voicing it.
Well, this is depressing, but I had to do this, you know, where Naruto meets his parents again. Like, you know. I had to do that a week after my mother passed away.
Oh my God.
So when you hear that, like the whole room was in tears when I was doing it. Everybody in the room. The crusty old engineer, they're all ex-musicians, usually kind of deaf, and they run the controls, right? And they were just weeping, like, and my director was, and the other person doing the scoring. That was one. Lady Chio dying. That was any death scene is hard. There's a big one in Boruto, but for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to say the spoiler, but those of you who have seen it, that was a very moving scene. And in the first movie where Naruto got electrocuted, that was, and the first fight, and also when he screams like, I'm here to take Sasuke back, and that whole business there, yeah. That was very, very emotional. And then you get caught up in it, because if you notice stuff that's not done well or done very cheaply, which Naruto, it's union, I'm pro-union, and it's really good actors. They did a great job of casting it with really good actors. And it doesn't sound like phony, because it could. If you just rush through it and just cast your roommate, sometimes that happens. Not with the studio that I work with, but yeah.
Very solid, and sorry about that.
Yeah, thanks.
It's life.
All right, so my name is Adam. I have like 2 questions. Do you know what Databayo is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on board with that. What's your second question?
Do you know what a talk no jutsu is?
What?
Talk no jutsu?
A talk no jutsu? It's like your speeches, like the one you just mentioned, like emotional scenes.
I think they say talk no jutsu.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Tone matters.
You're familiar with those?
Am I familiar? I don't know. I mean, I've said it. I know. Yeah.
I have ran plenty of your panels, and I've never heard that question.
Yeah, I haven't either.
And I'm still confused by it. So.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of jutsus I forget about because they're dumb. Like wood style jutsu. It's like, well, light it on fire. End of your jutsu, sucker.
Hello. It's good to see you again.
Yes.
So, if there was one jutsu that you could use in real life, which one would it be?
Oh, God. I'd probably be invisible and steal from major pharmaceutical companies. That's not a technical jutsu, but I'm imagining there's one somewhere in there. But I like shadow clone jutsu. I'd probably pick that.
Solid.
You touched upon it lightly in the beginning. I was morbidly curious. A lot of the times, regardless of the medium, there's usually a voice actor or actor, whatever, that usually has the one role that tends to overshadow everything else they do. You
mean like everyone says, "Oh, you do? You work on camera?"
As a creative person, I can't imagine how frustrating that may or may be. So I guess my question to you is that something you've made peace with, or is it something that still frustrates you? And like, how do you, if it does frustrate you, how do you?
You see that rage in her eyes?
Yeah, it's only because I want a beer. Well, where it's for all you budding journalists, bloggers, etc. First of all, I hate Wikipedia because anybody can put crap in there that's not true and completely misquoted. And they'll even put on IMDb stuff. I'm like, I wasn't in that, or I am in it, and I can't get IMDb to put me in it. I'm like, I have the pay stub, you know what I mean? But they don't care. But what upsets me most, and it just happened to me in some publication, instead of asking me what 5 characters they should put. Okay, first of all, I'll say, for conventions, I always feel like they're like, oh, let's have the intern do the bios. And I send them a bio that I like. And I'm like, do you want a short, a medium, or a long? Sometimes they'll say, well, just give us this much, and I'll be like, can I have, because sometimes they'll put whatever 20-year-old Susie thinks is their favorite role. And I'm like, I don't even remember that role. And that's what happened in this recent publication. It was such a minor part that I did, and it was chosen as part of this thing. And I'm like, well, that's not something that I go around saying, and I was duckling number 4, So that's a little irritating. I mean, it is irritating. Like at some of the big conventions, they will just put Naruto. And I'm like, I have as many people that watch Lab Rats, almost, not as many, but as many almost as Naruto, and some big movies that I've been in,
Well, Shameless too,
Yeah, Shameless was big.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. But my hair changed color every single episode. They shot so far apart, I'd go do my hair, and in the next episode, I'd have a completely different hair color. It's kind of terrifying. So do you know what my hair looks like now? But they seem not to notice or care. I'm sure it drove the editor crazy, but what are you gonna do?
Hi, my name is Anastasia. I actually met you a few years ago, the last time you were at this con. We took a picture together.
At this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So my question is, I know you mentioned before the other actors that you have worked with on Naruto. Who is one of the actors on that show that you would say you're closest with, or that you had the most fun interacting with?
Well, all of them, but the ones that I know, there are 300 characters. I meet people at conventions. I'm like, "What show are you on?" They're like, "I'm on your show." I'm like,
I met you 3 weeks ago.
Okay, whatever your name is, Ninja number 400. I don't remember that. Like some of them I didn't meet for Henry Dittman. I didn't meet for 6 years. And then some I've known forever, like Shikamaru and I were friends 30 years ago, before Naruto was even around. But what was the question again? Did I tell you I got no sleep? I remember your name is Anastasia. See, that's good. But what was the question?
Who do you like the best?
What?
What coworker do you like the best, essentially?
Well, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is the one that I spent the most time with. Yeah. And we're very, very good friends, her and Steve Bloom, her now husband. And but she directed me, and we just had a blast. Because it's usually, for anime, it's like, the director and an engineer and an actor, because you don't work with the other people. With original animation, you work in a group, and I did Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket for a couple years on Nickelodeon. That's an underrated show. It's really funny. Some of the people from Futurama created it, and I got to work with my other good friend, Candy Milo, who's also done 1,000 roles, Astro Boy among them, and everything else. I mean, her resume is insane. So it's always fun, because you're also trying to make the other person laugh, and if it's funny. Not so much in battle scenes, but so Mary Liz McGlynn, and then Tom Gibbous, Shikamaru. Yeah, don't picture it, and now I know you will. But we do yoga together every Tuesday. It's grotesque, to be honest. We allow no photographs to be taken of our little group of geriatric, very, very uncoordinated people in his backyard. And then it's during the plane hour by the Burbank airport. So in the backyard, and every 10 minutes we can't hear the yoga instructor. So we just kind of flail around like beached whales for a minute.
She's like,
you can picture that, though.
Yeah, she's like, don't picture it. Let me give you graphic detail all the way down.
And his thighs, no.
Hello. My name is Abby. My younger sister Noelle loves Naruto, so I have to say that.
All right.
And my mom and I are huge fans of Not Dead Yet. And I also love Lab Rats. Yeah. So in the theme of Not Dead Yet, I would love to know, if y'all haven't watched the show, the main character can kind of talk to dead people, which is very cool. If you could talk to a famous person that has passed, or is still alive, because that would be a bummer, who would you like to have a conversation with?
Wow. I'll keep it to dead people.
Everybody's being really specific here today. These are real questions. No, they're great.
Yeah, there are a lot of new ones, and I thank you for that, all of you. I don't know. I'd love to talk to Madeline Albright, because I'm I was a poli-sci major in college, and I never thought I was going to be an actor, and here I am now. So my parents loved it when I decided to become an actor. They were like, what? I was like, oh, don't worry. I'll just be poor for 15 years. And then just a little more than poor. And then other than that, I'll do okay. She would be one. I would like to talk to, I don't know, there's so many people. Some athletes I admire, just some writers and stuff.
Yeah, when you're you can pick through all of history, who do you want to talk to? Everyone?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Okay, Saul, let's hear your question, sir.
Hello, I'm a big fan of Lab Rats. I was wondering, what is your favorite part of playing the role of Principal Perry?
Torturing the Disney children. It was the highlight of my day. The worse I was to them, the better. And they let me get away with murder, and I don't know how they did it. Honestly. Murder. Especially Dooley. The episode where we were trapped in the elevator, do you remember that one? So I conspired with the director and the other 3 camera people, mostly men, that I was going to get closer and closer to him without telling him that, so they could refocus, when they needed to. And so I slowly inched my way closer to him till I was practically, and he couldn't react because it wasn't in the lines. He had to say what he had to say. And I just said my lines. And then I brought out, I had packed my pockets with, candy and stuff. I just started, I swear I was almost in his lap. And you could see the kid just and he's a really polite kid. Funny kid, talented. And I just, made really loud crunching noises right next to his ear. And you could just see him in the scene just like this. And then there's another scene where, also, I conspired with the director, and when I read the script, I quietly went up to them and I said, hey, because I'm a big fan of the Law and Order franchise, and I said, can we do this like Law and Order, where they always get the perp in the chair? And at the time, Criminal Intent was a big one, and Vincent D'Onofrio would always talk to people like this, the criminals, for no good reason. And so I wouldn't tell them where I was entering from, so they never knew when I came. And I'd come up and scream in the air and slam my hand on the table, and they would just jump up in the air, because I was scripted to come in on this side, and I'd just show right up here in their face, just interrogate them. They even put in the light for me, that, one of those little lights, and I would just ding it with my hand, so it was swinging back and forth lightly. That was pretty fun. Yeah. The kids were awesome on that show.
Hi, my name is Justin. I wanted to ask, because you play such a notable anime character, are you into anime yourself?
No. I got time for that. I was on 3 TV shows at the same time. I did Shameless, Naruto, and Lab Rats at the same time. So, one day I remember I went at 4:30 in the morning to Warner Brothers Studios and started working, because they don't do a lot of makeup on Shameless. And then at noon, they let me go. I drove into Hollywood and filmed Lab Rats till 7 on camera. And then at 7, I drove back over the hill to Burbank I had to finish an episode of Naruto. And I did that. And then I came home and I collapsed. But yeah. It's there's a term called busman's holiday. And I never knew it. But a friend of mine is a music supervisor for very fancy directors, and Academy Award-winning directors. And she, I asked her to come. My friend's daughter is a great rapper, and I said, you want to come with us to go see the Amber perform at the Whiskey in Hollywood, in Hollywood. Anyway, and she goes, busman's holiday. I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, well, when you're a bus driver and you have vacation, you don't take a bus anywhere on vacation. Because all she did was listen to music all day. So she, her joy was doing very different things.
Anything else but that.
Yeah. And for me, it really is a matter of time. And also, I think I would be I've seen bits and pieces of stuff, of course, but I think I would be pretty critical of it. There are a lot of people on Naruto that are really into anime, but the only anime role I've really ever done is Naruto. And then I got a little thing called Tiger. What is it?
Tiger and Lily, is that the one you're thinking?
No. Yeah, something like. What is it?
Yeah.
Lillian and Tiger and.
Tiger and Bunny. There we go.
See, I don't know. I've never seen it, but.
I almost had a tiger.
That's not almost. Tiger and Lily?
50%.
As opposed to Bunny? Leave me alone. I haven't had any sleep.
I've been up since Tuesday.
So, hi, it's Lynette again.
Or is it Bunny and Tiger?
What?
No, I was like, I think they only cast, I didn't audition. I think they only cast me because I look like the character. They're like, she's really sarcastic and mean, and I think that's why they cast me.
Okay, final
I didn't
question
audition.
of the day.
Yeah. The stuff I have seen, I like. But you'll never catch me sitting around watching One Piece. Whatever that show is.
What do you like playing as Perry, like Principal Perry? Like
anything.
What do you like? What's your favorite part of playing Principal Perry?
Well, I was supposed to do like one episode and I did 5 years. So that was fun. So they really did write, like, for me. And again, it was all adult sitcom writers, of big shows. People that have written Friends and all sorts of hit shows. And so I got away with that. And I think I got away with it because I wasn't a series regular, even though everyone thinks that I was, but I was a recurring guest star. But the other thing was, like, I played a nemesis, so you can get away with a lot more, right? So, like, a lot of the Disney moms, if you watch a pattern, don't do a lot, right? The dads do, right? But the moms are always kind of like, honey, don't do that, or whatever. It's gotten more diverse in the last many, many years, but there was definitely sort of a pattern of that. And so for me...
You made it original.
Yeah, it was. And lucky for me.
I mean, being unique's always the best, So, with that being said, that's the end of the panel, folks. So let's give a big shout out to Maile Flanagan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to go back to my table, and...
alcohol. Back to the alcohol.
For a little while, yeah. And fall asleep, so that'll be fun for you guys if you want to come. And I'll be here tomorrow, too, all day long. If you haven't gotten an autograph, you want to get one tomorrow, I'll be here till the end of it tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a really nice convention and a fun time, and thank you so much for having me. And remember, in a big, huge spot of a major sporting event coming up.
You heard it here. Thank you, Maile.
Hey there, this is Nolan North, and you are watching Fandom Spotlite. Good for you. Very proud of you. Now go watch more. Oh, and have fun and follow your fandom. I like that.